Hello, my lovelies. How was your weekend? I hope nobody got shot at. Seriously, absolutely seriously. I'm going to go ahead and text my folks. I'm on. Let's see who's available to come in and chat. So there was the event last night, the Washington, the White House Correspondents' Dinner that happens annually. I think it's gone on for like 100 years. I think it started in 1922, but I could be wrong. Um, that just comes to the top of my head. And then the Trumpster fire has never expressed any interest in going because, he hates reporters and it's all about honoring the reporters. And so this year, you had Caitlin Collins getting an award, his favorite. And then his other favorite, the Wall Street Journal journalists that published that article that had his birthday drawing in it, they were winning a huge award. Huge. Catherine somebody. It's like a real heroic award. It's huge. And so he said, I'm going. And my wife is going. We're going to be there. Be there, be square. And I didn't think he would go. I mean, sure, he would want to stare them down when they were winning their awards. But I thought more likely he was just posturing and then he was going to like all of a sudden be too busy, right? Hey, Mr. Mark, what's up? How are my people, Annabes and Mr. Mark? You're the best. I think I just have one more to text. How's your weekend been, you guys? So were you shocked that there was the assassination attempt? Which I don't know how they can call it an assassination attempt when he didn't get very close and, he might have been like after one of the journalists. Who knows? Or maybe Vance. Who knows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there. I'm all set with texting my half dozen folks. And so I spent most of the day trying to avoid the ridiculous crap on the internet about it, but I have caught a little bit. And mostly I've been catching up on my news via Lego videos because that's what we're supposed to do from now on, in case you hadn't gotten the memo. Things go bad. Let's set off a distraction. Right. Well, when are these people going to get their awards? Like probably around never o'clock is my guess. But it's just a huge pile of crapola. And what happened to his shirt? What did they do? Strip him down? It reminded me of the photograph of Big Balls this last summer after he got attacked by those mean teenagers who beat him up. And then he was sitting there in his white jeans and no shirt, kind of like a Marky Mark Calvin Klein model, except with red stuff. And then he had like a police car right there and like an American flag right there. And it was just the weirdest photo. Do you guys remember that? Maybe I'll have to use that for my thumbnail. I hadn't picked a thumbnail yet. So, yeah. So, the event last night started at 8 o'clock. And then by 8:35, in my opinion, the Trumpster fire had essentially like thrown all the tables in the joint upside down. That's how I see it. And then no more party. But he said, come on, let's have the party. And the law enforcement said, no, we're not going to have the party. And he said, oh, okay, boss, because you know how obedient he is and how he likes people to tell him what to do. Yeah. No, if he wanted to have it, he would have been like, yeah, I'm having it because I'm the man. No one tells me what to do. I call my own shots. So, anyway, everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All my videos are made for the tube of you, and it's an infotainment platform. I've got my I don't know if this is like an Air Force hat or Angels. I think it's Air Force. I just like the colors. Do you see it? It's very pretty. I haven't worn it before. You know, I have like 50 baseball hats to hide my hair. Because that's what you got to do when you go on YouTube. The camera is so distorting. It does the weirdest things with your face and with your body. I mean, I kid you not. It's not real what you see on the camera. And that's without AI. That's without Photoshop. It's just strange. So, I'm glad that you had a good weekend, Mr. Mark. And how is Ripley? How's Ripley? Hello, all. From me to you, Toto. I don't read memos. Oh, good. All lies from our government these days. Fox Mulder, Dana, Scully. Yeah, right. The Lone Gunman. You caught that in my title. The Lone Gunman theory. I personally think that everything in this White House is like a reality TV show, apprentice style. And so why would last night be any different? But let me stay caught up with my people's comments here because that's the best part of the video as far as I'm concerned. I do have some notes to try to make it good from my end. But you guys just give it such texture with your input, like Mark's comment just now. Did I highlight that? I did. Okay. Absolutely staged, just like Nancy G's disappearance. Exactly. Well, I don't know what you mean, though. Did she not disappear? Is she okay? Damn, I hope so. I know that you follow that case really closely, and I just can't because I just think it's hella effed up. I do think that that whole thing was staged in a sense. I believe that she was kidnapped, in my opinion, but you know, the day after the 3 million pages of e-files drop. Oh my God, you guys! Kelly from What's the Obsession just dropped an island video the day before yesterday, and there was something in there that I had not known, and I want to stay caught up, but let me make a note to myself so I remember to go right back to that. Come on, pen, don't be messing with me. Kelly. Okay, I gotta stay caught up. And Mark says hi from me to you, Turo. I know that that's what he means right there. Same, no picture videos from this party either. Yeah, so weird. True. I look like Brad Pitt in real life. Brad Pitt at 33. Yeah. Cool, Mr. Mark. I know. Just saying hi. What? Did you hear me? Were your ears burning? Your video. Everybody should watch What's the Obsession. It's about a 30-minute video. When are you dropping part 2? It's part 1 of Epstein's Island. And man, Kelly kicks some butt. She does some really, really cool work. She's extremely talented with multimedia stuff. Like For Me to You, Taro. Ripley doing all right for his age. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. That's awesome. And I agree, non-truth. Oh, man, what happened? Come on. Hi, Taro and Kelly. I just don't know what there is the following that case. Nothing happened. It's horrible. Oh, do you mean with Nancy Guthrie? Is that case the one you're saying that comment about, Kelly? If you're still here. Anna Bees, Kelly is here. Woohoo. That is so exciting. It's so nice to see you. And, you know, I haven't been sharing with my people here because I have forgotten. I've been on Kelly's panels twice, I think, in the last week. And so I'll put the links in the description One was from last night, and then one was from about a week ago. I used to always be on Kelly's panels, and I miss my girl. So, let's see. She does just such amazing work. Anna Bees was there. Anna Bees was watching. And see, I was organizing my jewelry, so I wasn't really watching the chat. Even when I first got on the panel, I was still organizing jewelry a little bit. I spent this whole weekend organizing my jewelry, you guys. I got so much done. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so happy because it's been stressing me out for a long time. There's actually 3 parts. I was going to put it out as one 70-minute video, but YouTube is hating on me, so I chopped it up into 3 parts. Very cool. Very cool. So are part 2 and 3 ready to go? I'm excited to watch them. Hey, has anyone watched Monk's recent video where he inverts the video of Porch Guy? I have not. Monk's Intrigue is the channel that For Me to You Tarot is referring to. And I've watched his channel before, but I haven't watched it too recently. So I'm not sure, but maybe someone else has caught it, Mr. Mark. But if you want to share something about it, please do. Nancy, yes. What's the obsession? Kelly, have you seen Monk's Intrigue channel? Is that one that you follow? Yeah, we love it. Last night was so great. Yeah. Yeah, and then, I knew about the incident prior to the video that you made. I don't think anybody brought it up in your video, did we? Like, because I just thought immediately before I knew anything, my daughter told me about it. That was how I first heard, and I was just like, yeah, right. Sort of like CK on September 10th. It's just like, come on. And then when I started to learn the details, I'm just like, give me a break. I put up a post right away where I just said, fake AF, give me a break. And I used a photograph of our president from a few months ago that is a real photograph that nobody doctored. And you tell me what he looks like. Go look at my my community post from last night if you're interested. It's a real photo. It's just the lighting. The lighting's just playing tricks like it does. You were too kind. Oh, you're so sweet, my dear. I saw you last night on Kelly's live. I told my daughter, Jazz probably thinks I'm stalking her, LOL. No, I thought you were there, but I wasn't sure because, like I said, I was busy organizing. I spent all weekend tearing through my yoga studio because I'm trying to turn that into my jewelry / yoga studio. And I got rid of a ton of stuff to try to organize. Because that's, simplifying is huge. And it's hard to get rid of my stuff because I love my stuff. I don't collect it if I don't love it. But if I have a good source to donate it to or to sell it, then I'm happy to get money for it or to give it to a good cause. So I gave it to an art supply store that is all like recycled art supplies. And so they sell it not for profit, but just to stay open. It's a nonprofit. And I furnished them with so much stuff and they were so happy to have it. So that was amazing. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm actually going to start volunteering with their little co-op too. I check it out. Yeah, I saw that you made your, you made a laughy face or something, I think. Kelly commented on my community post. Monks is going to be on the interview room with Chris on Monday night about Nancy G. Yeah, I haven't watched the interview room in years, actually. I used to watch them when I first started following true crime on YouTube. And remember that he's like a retired cop. He's one of those. There's a lot of those channels that are retired cops. The thing that bugs me about the retired cops is they always go with the status quo. Always. Always, always, always. It's like mandatory. I know I'm married to one. LOL. That picture of Donald Trump reminded me of that one picture I got from the Watts kitchen where there is very clearly a holy cross. It's like arch of that picture. Exactly, Watts, the obsession. Do you guys know the picture she's referring to? I first saw it in one of her lives or one of her videos, but I think that I was on the panel and that it was live. And I was like, wait a second, what did you do there? And she's like, I did nothing. That's just the light coming through the curtains over the dining room table and the light above the dining room table when the cops were the first time that they were in the Watts home, and all the curtains were drawn and it was really dark, except this light was shining through and then the lamp, and it was like a perfect cross. I think I have a picture of it somewhere in my community post, and I think I've used it in one of my um, thumbnails too. It's crazy, and I was so glad that Kelly pointed that out to me, because I'm a believer when you see stuff like that. Like I saw a father like father death, basically the Grim Reaper, in one of the Suzanne Morphew pictures, and I saw some really weird images in Barry Morphew. Like he's a demon. I'll just say it. He wasn't the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper was just there. And, I'll post these images in my community tab so you don't think I'm crazy. Like, I don't even need to doctor them up. I'll just put them in there and you tell me what you see. It's just like the heart on my little puppy dog's head that I always joke that I touch it up with my black Sharpie. And I've, of course, never done that. But yeah, I thought of the same thing, Kelly, with when that picture came out of Donnie a few months ago. I don't know what to think about the situation last night. My first thought was that it was fake, but I'm not sure that's the case. Well, I'm glad that you said that, Annabise, because we can never be too sure, except always with this guy, I think. But I want to play you a really cool Lego video that addresses that. And one of these channels came out with a Lego video right away. But this one is from CNN Iran Lego from about 8 hours ago. Breaking news. I'm coming live tonight. Something happened in Washington. Let's get the story right. The White House Correspondents' Dinner, April 25. Shots were fired at the Hilton, but everyone survived. We're not here to guess the answers. We're just asking what is true. This is your nightly Lego update, bringing the facts to you. It was a Saturday evening. The journalists were dressed, cabinet officials in the building, everyone impressed. The Washington Hilton was glowing with the cameras and the lights. Nobody was expecting what would happen on that night. A man named Cole Thomas Allen came from California State. He approached the security line and tried to breach the gate. Shots were fired, agents responded. One got hit but wore a vest. The crowd evacuated quickly, put the panic to the test. This is the story. These are the facts. Law enforcement on the ground confirmed the attack. One suspect in custody, one agent on his feet. The president was evacuated safely down the street. This is the story we reported as it stands, but the internet is talking and the questions won't be canned. Was it staged? Was it real? What exactly went down? As the conversation spreading all across the town. By the time the night was over, social media was live. Reddit, X, and Facebook asking how did this survive? How was there no metal detector at an event this size? When the whole administration walked right through before our eyes. The vice president was present, the first lady too. Every senior cabinet member had a front row view. People started asking questions, because they hate, but because the circumstances seemed a little hard to translate. Now we are not saying that the story was a lie. We are simply reporting what the public asked and why. When trust in institutions hits a record-breaking low, every single incident becomes a controversial
show. The questions being asked tonight are not from left to right. They come from ordinary people watching news at night. Transparency is what they want. Accountability to that is not conspiracy. That is citizens asking what is true. Enforcement held that briefing, gave the details clear. A lone wolf from the West Coast, that was all he said was here. No political motive, publicly confirmed that night. Agents treated the situation, understanding protocol and might. The president returned to the ballroom, spoke to those inside. Cameras caught the moment. Commentators analyzed. Some said it showed composure, others questioned how he knew that everything was over fast enough to make a quick debut. But let us zoom the camera out and look at something more. Gun violence in America has been ignored before. Every single day there are shootings across this land, but the nightly coverage barely gives them a moment or a hand. When the powerful get targeted, the whole world stops to see. But every day Americans are asking, where is our decree? Equal coverage, equal outrage, equal time to grieve. That is the message underneath the questions that people will see. So here we are at the end of our labor news report tonight. The shooting at the Hilton happened. That part is right when agent stood his ground and walked away because of his physical domicile is in custody. That is confirmed and addressed. The questions linger longer as a matter for the crowd in the nation built on asking, speaking cautious is allowed. This has been your Henry Bungle. We will run tonight. The guard, stay informed, stay curious, and we will see you when the next story comes.
All right, I think that's it. Wasn't that great? I love that they're just asking the questions because that's what's most important. It's also really important that nobody was injured. But I want to read to you something off of Facebook too. Hey, Billy Darling and Sarah Della. How are you guys? Lovely to see you. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. How are you? So let me keep up with all the good comments. Let's see. So where was I? Did I read that one about I think I was right around here. I don't know what to think about the situation last night. My first thought was that it was fake, but I'm not sure that's the case. I really like the interview room. Watt says, I like him best of all the retired cops. And see, I'm not even sure which one it is. Like there's two that I'm thinking it's one or the other. Isn't it Chris? Isn't that his name? Totally agree. Cops go with the status quo, 100%. Whenever I see that picture, I think of you. That's so cute, Kelly. I love that. It is so clearly a vibrant cross, like a cross on fire with white light. Absolutely. It's so powerful. I never noticed that. Anna B says, oh, girl, my other friend, Kathleen Houston, is it Houston? And you're doing voice to text, probably. Kathleen Houston had some crazy stories about Barry Morphew. She stayed in the hotel room he stayed in the night he unalived Suzanne. Wild stuff. Wow. I would love to hear more about that. Does this Kathleen Houston have a channel? By chance? So Billy Darling came in. That sounds very scary. Kelly, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Barry Morphew is very scary. So how fake was it? Billy says as she enters, and Sarah says hi. Hey, Billy Darling, we have voting in California again. Ugh. Well, I hope it goes well. Wondering about the magic trick that was so very magical right before the shots. And so there were no comedians scheduled because Donnie Toodles thinks he's a comedian and he was going to do, I think, like an hour and a half of stand-up, basically. Just allegedly he had something written with Caroline Levitt. They wrote it together or something, but I doubt he had nothing. And so that, you know, they had to like pull what they pulled so that nobody would know he didn't really have anything to say. So yeah, the Mentalist was like showing, like doing a trick with Donnie Two Dolls and women on either side of him as it was happening. Kind of reminded me of in Butler when Donnie Two Dolls pointed to some crazy graph, some crazy prop that he had right as he was pew-pewed, so to speak. And sorry about my braces. 3 likes with mine. Hey, Annabise, hey, Billy, Anna, good to see you. Hey, hey, Sarah, welcome. And let's see. Thank you, SM. Thank you. I know I don't know what the SM. I know what the thank you, TY. We are okay. Thank you. Hit like and subscribe. Darling, thank you, Billy Darling. Yes, here's my thumb to ask you once again to hit the like. And here, share a video of mine with somebody that you think would like the channel and share the video if it is a good one. Hopefully, let's make it good, you guys, and turn on your notification bell to ring. And let's see, I'm scared. I know it doesn't help. Oh, about the voting. Well, just wait until martial law kicks in, and so there's no more voting, right? His speech was called free speech. How ironic. Right. He hates free speech. I mean, unless it agrees with him, then it's good. If it's not, then he wants you dead. Straight up. You got to be kidding me. Donnie, a comedian, purposely LOL. He thinks he is. And his hardcore followers think he is too. They think he's so funny and entertaining. And this is one of the reasons why he goes after the comedians. Is one is because they make fun of him, and 2 is because he's jelly AF. Jelly AF. Especially like Stephen Colbert. Like, how many Emmys has Stephen Colbert won? Jon Stewart, Jimmy Kimmel, also Emmy winners. And, he kind of leaves Jimmy Fallon out of it. I think Jimmy Fallon has probably won some Emmys too, though. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, you guys. See, I got to be cool and know my initials speak. I figured I could Google it. But now I know. Now I can be cool. I had to increase my font size on my computer. I know. Voting the British and President Trump gunman's scary. When do the British arrive? They're coming over, probably this week. Oh, and yesterday was Virginia Giuffre's anniversary of her passing. I was going to say her birthday. It was her death day, the 25th of April. Today is Melania's birthday. So last year was Melania's 55th birthday when she was at Pope Francis's funeral with Donnie. Not some guy, I think, was dressed in drag to be like her, and he was all covered with that black lace, and he had the big man hands, like in the Seinfeld episode. That was definitely not her on her 55th birthday, hanging out with Donnie at a funeral. That for the Pope, that Vance may have had something to do with the timing of his passing. But Virginia's timing of her passing, I think, was clearly, in my opinion, a birthday present for Melania, especially because now we know how freaked out Melania is about the people who witnessed her coming into her marriage and how she met this douchebag. And Virginia knew everything. I mean, Virginia was really tight with Jiz and Jeffrey for pretty much just 2 years, like 2000, 2001, and 2002, I think. And then she was still in their circle a little bit, I think 2003, maybe around there was when she faded out. But, you know, she tried to make an abrupt end when she got married, when she went to Thailand. But, you know, Jiz and Jeffrey weren't willing to let her out of their clutches that easily. I mean, they sort of did, but not really. So, like, I think she was probably at Jeffrey's 50th birthday, and I think that that was in 2003. No, no. Yeah, because he was born in 1953. So that was the year that he had his 50th birthday. And she was witness to the 12-year-old French triplets that were gifted to him from Jean-Luc Brunel. And I'm pretty sure Donnie Two Dolls was there. I mean, not just in the birthday book, but at the party with the 12-year-old triplets from France. So that's huge. That's why he's so freaked out about that birthday letter. And that's why he flipped all the tables upside down, metaphorically, last night at this event, because the journalists at the Wall Street Journal were getting that award for publishing the birthday letter and the article that they wrote with it and all the research that they did with it. And that case, that $10 billion lawsuit or whatever that Donnie had, you know, attempted, that got thrown out about a week and a half ago. A judge said, "No, I don't think so," and it just got dismissed. Let's see. Okay, voting, the British, the President Trump gunman, scary. Well, I think the President Trump gunman thing was just another stunt. I mean, everything with him is a stunt. Everything, props and stunts, in my opinion. Billy, I had to increase the font on my phone. I'm so blind. BB will give him huge Emmy. Oh, and the Cuban invasion. I'm so tired. Yeah, me too. And I'd lost 90% of my vision after a surgery. Coincidence? Oh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. That's wild. Anna, blind and tired, laughed my ass off. Me too, blind. And I haven't cleaned my glasses. That'll help me see more clearly too. And I've got some really funny stuff. I haven't even looked at my notes yet. And I was going to get back to that thing about Kelly, the video. Now I forget what it was. Seriously, can you guys help me out? I'll try to speed read and get caught up. What's that thing I was going to get back to about Kelly in the video? Oh, the thing about the thing that I had not heard before. So let me say that real quick before I forget again, and then I'll get caught up. The thing with the video is that there was an interview of an architect who worked on Little E's Island, and he quit. And I'd seen parts of the interview before, but I had not seen the part, I don't think, unless I saw it and forgot. One of the parts that Kelly put in there, which he legit quit being the architect on E Island because of what he saw, and he was so freaked out. And Little E had made a request. Are you guys ready? I hope you're sitting down. This is insane. He had made a request that he wanted a movie theater put in under his swimming pool. Remember how I told you when I look at that swimming pool on the island, it makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up? And I thought it was because of all the cabanas, but also like the pathway that goes down to the water where I'm sure they would bring the Smeck slaves in and then have them come up to there, in my opinion, possibly. But he wanted to not only build a movie theater under the swimming pool, he wanted bedrooms attached to this movie theater under the swimming pool. And he even said that it was for the girls to relax and watch movies. And that was the final straw. Like he'd already seen stuff that he was freaking out. And then with that, he was just like done. And he went straight to the FBI and reported crap. And I forget what year that was, Kelly, if you remember. And now I'm going to try to get caught up. If you're still here, that is. And they all left their wives behind in the chaos. Stevie and Donnie and RFK Jr. Yeah, well, that's because they care so much about them, only looking out for number one. But also, if they knew it was FAKE, then what's the big deal, right? After a YouTuber connected Little E and Walt Disney, it was shut down. What was shut down, Sarah? You mean the island? I don't know that story about the island getting bought up by Disney people. I don't know that was true. As far as I know, that wasn't true. Protection is needed for all in America. Oh, Disney was definitely sus AF. And I believe that. Absolutely believe that. And that there can be a connection there. I don't think they bought the island. So I'm not sure. Billy, it doesn't surprise me. And I'm ready. Let's freaking go. Wow. Everyone gets a ballroom. You get a ballroom. You get a ballroom. You and you and you. You're hilarious, Billy. Right. And this incident just proves why they need the ballroom. Right? Your mouth is moving, but no sound is coming out of it. Seriously? Patricia? Hey. Oh, but maybe it's just you because other people haven't said that. Let's see. Try backing out and coming back in. And move your mouth louder, Jazzy. Oh, you're so cute. Is it just me? There's no sound for me, at least. Audio good here. Hey, everyone. Billy, love ya. Patricia, do you have your phone? Where'd that go? Hooked to Bluetooth somewhere? Oh, that happens, huh? I think there's a cave space under the temple on the island. Yeah, Billy, I get the same feeling looking at that temple on the island with the blue and white stripes, and it used to have the golden dome on top. But that came off in a hurricane. I get the hair on the back of my neck standing up with that place too. And it's my belief, it's my opinion that in that little building was like where they had like I don't even know what you call it, like a slave trade block where they do the slave trading, and maybe some Titanic type of rituals too. Something. And yeah, it probably drops straight down into the tunnel crap. Straight down to hell. The ranchers is incredibly horrible. The ranch is incredibly horrible. I think both the ranch and the island have a lot of incinerators, like heavy duty incinerators. And the island has a hatch somewhere that drops straight into the ocean. Kelly has that in her video too. And I'd seen that before. I don't know where that hatch is. But why would you need a hatch like that drops straight into the ocean? For mermaids? Yes, swimming pool, everything creepy. Okay, interesting. I still haven't any sound on power off for a minute. Yeah, try that. Sometimes that happens. Like a sauna thing or something creepy. It's sick. Yeah. Many people have been reporting E. You know about rapper. Yeah, that guy. Oh, so awful. I haven't been following the case, but yeah, some of the people in this chat are following it. I'm trying really hard to follow in real life the 2 cases in Ohio that are having a lot of hearings lately. So I've been trying to go to those court dates as well in person. And that's quite a commitment. But I'm happy to do it. I'm very motivated to be part of the resistance against domestic violence. So that's Ashley Smith. That case is going to be going to trial in just over a week. Unbelievable. So not this week, but next week. I think May 4th is when it's set to start. And then that's Ashley Smith, Caleb Flynn. And then the Tepe case, which isn't set for trial. Actually, it's not even the trial. They don't know when that trial is going to be with Mo and Spencer Tepe. And I went to a hearing in Columbus last week for that. And David McKee was not there. He hasn't been present for any of his hearings, I don't think. And everything happened in the judge's chamber, so it was all literally behind closed doors. But their next hearing is in June or July, and then I think they're supposed to get on the schedule for the trial. I can hear you. Okay. Secret rooms, etc. Sarah, yes, I just started following that case. Epstein reference and Little E was in Disney movies. What? Crazy. OMG. I have not heard that. I got to check that out. Synchronized ballroom demands on MAGA. I know. They're all like, yeah, it's a dog whistle. Total freaking. We need this. Yeah, you mean judges, you can't try to keep us from having our ballroom because look at what could happen. Crazy teachers from California get on a train and, I was going to look up, I haven't had a chance though. I was going to look up how many days does it take to ride the train from Southern California to Chicago and then from Chicago to DC. And how many days ago was it that little Donnie Two Dolls announced that he was going to be at this event? Because I don't think he announced it more than a week ago. And I think it probably takes 3 or 4 days to come in on a train from the West Coast to the East Coast via Chicago. Maybe 4 days even. I'm not sure. Because my in-laws once took the train from Washington State to Ohio. And I want to say that was like 3 days, but it might have been 2. Or it could have been 4. It was years ago, so I don't remember. So D class. Wait, what? For Little E being so rich, none of his properties have good interior or exterior design. Well, the problem is he had no taste, Annabise. He was just a freaking scumbag with no class, no taste. Yeah, you would think he would have just hired some people with taste, but, they had to do it by his rules, which was to make it tacky. I agree. More goodness for family. There's nothing cool about them. Just a bunch of creepy. Watch for limiting travel next. Oh, wait. I see in airports. Right, Billy darling. And that's another thing is that Two Dolls was irate because of that announcement about what was it, like 120 entities globally, kind of recommending that people don't travel to the United States for the World Cup. Or that if they do travel, to be extremely cautious. And they listed all the reasons why they need to be cautious. And it's pretty much all about ice, because Two Dolls has said that there's going to be a huge ice presence at the World Cup. Because he just has to ruin everything for everyone all the time. Yeah. Disney reported, but it was taken down. I would think at least 4 days. Right. And how many days ago was it that Donnie Two Dolls announced that he was going to be at this thing? Probably just like 4 or 5 days before it happened. Because I think he announced it like Monday or Tuesday, just off the top of my head. And then it was happening on Saturday. So I want to say he announced it like the 20th, and then it was happening on the 25th. Yes, plenty of tornadoes. Yikes. D class, not classy design. Oh, that's cute. I like that. I was thinking you meant declassified. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. I agree. Little E is gross and a monster, in my opinion. Complete monster. Absolute, complete, disgusting monster. PDFs do not like good interior design. Boycott the World Cup. Yeah. Buy local, boycott all the corps. Yes, they are going to lose their arse. Right. Like, I think hotels nationwide are not getting rooms booked the way they thought they would for the World Cup, and they're slashing their costs because not only are people not traveling here for the World Cup, they're simply not traveling here to keep themselves safe. And that's smart, unfortunately. Why would you want to walk into a dumpster fire, right? No one has reserved rooms for the World Cup. Yeah, I'm being silly, Jazz. We, the people, have the power. Okay, so I want to read you this thing that somebody wrote on Facebook, and it's extremely funny. One of my mods sent it to me this morning. It's parody, and I'm just going to read it. It's like supposed to be read like a news article. Huge relief as America's number one rapist, PDF, and war criminal survives another shooting. It's Normal Island News is the name of the writer. Americans sighed in relief after their most popular rapist, PDF, and war criminal survived a shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night. The assassin shot and injured a police officer, but thankfully no rich people were harmed in this production. And I'm told that Trump's ears were unscathed. Thank God. It was initially feared that the president had been unalived, but then everyone realized he was just napping again. When informed that her husband was still alive, the First Lady broke down in tears. I'm assuming these were tears of joy, but I'm unclear why Melania kept saying, "Fook, fook, fook." I'm putting it down to shock. The dinner was unfortunately canceled, and Trump took to Truth Social to get a few likes before holding a press conference where he called the shooter a thug and a lone wolf. He has been half an hour after the shooting, right? He has been charged with firearms and assault offenses, but Kash Patel has yet to find any bullet engravings, presumably because he is drunk and about to get fired. It's unclear if the shooting was a false flag like the last one, but either way, Trump should definitely use it as an excuse for more authoritarianism. If I were him, I'd cancel the midterms and introduce martial law to protect myself from any further false flags. It's the only way to stop the radical left. Here is the difference between us and them. We value human life and they don't. It is utterly despicable to target leaders unless we're talking about Nicolas Maduro or Ayatollah Khomeini or maybe the Cuban president whose name I can't remember. Obviously, it's fine to target the leaders of countries we don't like. What do you mean you don't like the U.S.? The U.S. is a democracy that always respects international law when it's not bombing other countries back to the Stone Ages. This is why you're obligated or obliged to cry for its rapists, PDFs, and war criminals. Anything less would make you a terrorist. So again, that was Normal Island News. And it was written like probably an hour or less after the incident. Where was I? I don't know. We need to change the rights of healthcare. Oh, absolutely. The healthcare system is so pathetic, so terrible. the heck with all their collaborators. Billy says, extra ears on aisle 47. LOL, Billy, you should have done the comedic commentary. We, the people, used to be able to have protection and visit the White House. Yeah. Everybody under the tables except Lady in Red filming with her phone, and Erica Kirk, who got rushed out of there, and she was crying like this, but I didn't see any tears, and she said, I just want to go home. I'm sure she was just so triggered. So triggered. There was no pyrotechnics, and that's what triggered her, right? Let's take the wine. And so they did. C-SPAN has best coverage. Okay. So, I also watched a video of another Trumpstein transporting survivor. And I want to tell you her name. It was the Soft White Underbelly. I know not everyone likes that channel. I'm really liking the interviews that they do with the oh, there it is. I already was there, and then here, her name is Thisa. I think it's Thythysia. Thissa Huisman, Huisman, and she was phenomenal. And I'm going to put a link in the description to her video right now as we speak. Copy link. See if it'll work. And then put that in the description of my video. I think it's going to work. Let's see. One second. Sorry. I don't want to screw things up by trying to talk while I'm doing this, because if I do two things at once, I'll screw everything up. Okay, there it is. Her story is great. She's very articulate, and she was only assaulted one time by Jean-Luc Brunel, and that was when she was 18. And she just does such a good job articulating how much it screwed with her and how much it still screws with her. And she's in her 50s now. She's probably in her early 50s. And she has a teenage son, I think, that's maybe like 15 years old. But she's written at least one book about her recovery. And I don't think she really told anyone or talked about it or processed it until little E was arrested in 2019. And she saw basically the FBI advertising that if anybody had any information or any stories, to contact them. And so she did. And they basically were like, oh, well, yours didn't happen in America, so we're not really interested. But it got her going. And that really upset her that they asked for information and then we're like, no, we don't want your information. Yeah, it's an international ring. So anyway, so Jean-Luc Brunel was the one who assaulted her, and she just does a phenomenal job articulating about it. She's working on another book currently. She pretty much quit modeling because of it. Shortly after it happened, like she literally like left Paris the very next day, like pretty much same day, and then only modeled for a few more months, I think. And then she got into television and directing television, and now she's a writer. So I think she like had a long successful career as a television producer. And she's super tall. She's probably like 6 something, and she's got wild cheekbones, and she's just so well spoken. I highly, highly, highly recommend that video. So I linked that up. one of the things that she said is that she never believed for a second that Jean-Luc was self-injury. Never believed for a second that it was self-injury. And the most important thing she said about that, and the whole reason I'm sharing it with you, is that she said that as soon as he unalived in February of 2022, that shut the entire investigation down. So remember, Ghislaine was already arrested and her trial was about to start February 2022. And then she was sentenced in June of 2022. And then 2 weeks and 2 days after her sentencing was when Ivana fell down the flight of stairs. And yeah, 2022. Ivana's live-in boyfriend, ex-husband, that was 49 years old when he passed away in November, about 9 months before hers, 8 or 9 months before she passed away. So he passed away right before Jean-Luc Brunel. Jean-Luc Brunel was, again, February of 2022. And that shut down the Epstein investigation. Very important. Very, very important. So the whole thing with this event last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, in my opinion, that was a threat to every journalist in our country and beyond. That not only just letting them know that these things can happen and they can be on lockdown, virtually everyone was running around with a firearm, whether it was a handgun or a rifle, and guns were getting pointed at people all over the place. And there was the Substack dinner that a lot of the alternative radical left people were at, the like YouTubers with their really big channels. And the Substack party that was just maybe 5 minutes away, nobody was allowed to leave or come. Like, that was on lockdown too. So again, just letting everyone know that Donnie has the authority to imprison them, basically. Let's see, did Patricia come back yet? Where are we? I want to go home. I just want to go home. I know, she's so annoying. And just that look that she made with her face, it kind of reminds me of Lindsay Rodney Neiman's face when she was all contorted, like extra contorted, and no tears. Just I mean, come on. And why was she allowed to go? Why were some people allowed to go and other people were like prisoners? Come on. Oh my gosh. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, Erica's crying. Right. She's crazy. She's just so annoying. And her freaking hair extensions are so annoying. I look at her hair extensions as like her being a scalper, basically, because they're probably real hair from people that sold their hair. But who knows? Maybe they didn't want to sell their hair. Maybe it was just taken. They had good hair and it was taken. You never know. Think of Van Halen when reading. Thank you for links, Tech Impaired. Yeah, I love to link things up in my description, especially since I don't have all the tech. I'm tech impaired too, in case you didn't notice. I mean, it's amazing that I can have a YouTube channel and that I can link things up in my description live. Did Patricia come back yet? We miss you, Patricia. I think it was her phone. I think so too, Billy. She probably has earbuds still connecting to her phone or something else with Bluetooth. Yeah, that's a good guess, Anna Bees. I see Anna. There's been a fatal shooting at Dolly Parton's. Oh no. I mean, there's fatal shootings in our country every day. Every day. And did the president address, or did Mike Johnson address those 8 children that were unalived by the father of 7 of them in Shreveport, Louisiana last Sunday? So a week ago today. Um, that was Mike Johnson's jurisdiction, and he didn't address it. And Donnie didn't address it because they weren't white. Yes, takedown needs to be shut down everywhere. Lockdowns with a shooter, not a good idea, in my opinion. Right, especially because they wouldn't know so quickly if anyone else was involved or not. Give me a break. Exactly. Why only some allowed to go? Yes, Anna. It's the name of one of Dolly's places. Yeah. Um. So, in my opinion, the parties. Excuse me. Kind of spit. These damn braces, damn wax. And my appointment is in. I think it's either tomorrow and off, you guys, but it's probably like about 4 or 5 months from now. I've made it this far, and it's been since August, so like 8 months already. Amazing. I don't know how I've done it. Like every day, I'm like, I can't live like this for another day, not for another hour. And here I am. Anyway, what was I talking about? The parties that happened last night, like the Substack party and all these other parties. If it was a real incident with real danger, I don't think anybody would have been continuing with parties. Like, oh, okay, well that's over with. Let's keep doing this. And honestly, I don't think that a president would be like, well, let's keep doing it. Let's continue with the dinner. He just had to pretend that he wasn't trying to put a stop to the award ceremony. That's what that was. Um, as if he was going to be a hilarious comedian, right? And they always have comedians emceeing these events, but instead he wanted this mentalist so that these comedians couldn't be roasting him. And man, would they've been roasting him with Caitlin Collins getting an award. You don't smile, young lady. I've never seen you smile. She's like, yeah, I'm talking to you about SMEX transporting, so not smiling. Thank you very much. And then these damn reporters from that rag, the Wall Street Journal, trying to get some type of heroes award. And it's an Elizabeth something. I think it's in my other notes. I don't think it's in this notebook. Let me see if my voice to text is working. What was the award? No, I don't think it's going to work. What's the award? What award Wall Street Journal? The newspaper has won 39 Pulitzer Prizes, but the one from last night, well, they won a Pulitzer Prize for last year. And then I want to know what the, that, what is it, Elizabeth, some type of hero award. Wall Street Journal reporter. Award last night. The Katharine Graham Award for Courage and Accountability. So Katharine Graham is the one that movie, I think it was called The Post. That was a really good movie that came out about, I think, 6 years ago. And she owned the Wall Street Journal. Like her father, or sorry, not the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post. So her father, I think, was the owner of the Washington Post. And then when her father, like she inherited it, but it was her and her husband that inherited it. But then her husband died or something. So it was just her. So it was like this big deal for a woman to be the owner of the Washington Post. And it was a really good newspaper back then. And she made it even better. And it was the Panama Papers that made her, the decisions that she made around publishing the Panama Papers that were really what that movie was about, The Post. Let me see. So Katharine Graham, I should be able to remember that. Because I was really excited when that movie came out. And let me see if that's the right name. I think it was called. Yeah, it came out in 2017. The most prominent movie, titled The Post, is a 2017 historical drama directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Meryl Streep as Katharine Graham, the first female publisher of the Washington Post, and Tom Hanks as editor Ben Bradley. Set in 1971, the film depicts the true story of the Washington Post journalists as they race to publish the Pentagon Papers. These classified documents exposed a decades-long government cover-up regarding the Vietnam War. Graham and Bradley must decide whether to risk their careers and possible imprisonment to uphold the freedom of the press. So that's why it's called the Katharine Graham Award. Very good movie, in my opinion. But I just want to make sure I got the title right. It's called The Post. Well, I'm guessing that Dolly is okay, or you would have said something. Well, yeah, I hadn't heard about that. Like I said, I was watching Lego videos all day, really, because there was good music, and it's the way you're supposed to get your news now. I was going to play another one that, let's see. Okay, I played that one. Red Flags Exposed. That one's too long. Trump ran like hell. War Parody is that channel. Maybe I'll play that one. So, yeah, let's do that one. The War Parody.
Dinner, lights, cameras, then chaos. Trump on stage. Let's go. Let's go. Fancy ballroom, Hilton lights glowing, Trump in a suit, orange hair showing, Melania beside him, Vance looking bored, crowd full of haters, clapping real low. Speech going smooth, ego on inflate, till the shadow moves near the metal gate. Backpack boy with a grin so shady, pulls out the heat, now it's getting crazy. Secret service screaming, shots fired! Tables flip, people die for cover, bullets flying like confetti in the air. Trump's face turned white, eyes wide with fear. He ran like hell off that stage. Secret service, grab him, turn the page. Legs in the air, flying wild. Big bad Trump looking like a scared child. Ran like hell, what a show. The big tough guy to let's go, bro. No one hurt but his giant ego. Shots at the dinner, now the whole world knows. Lego style panic bodies on the floor. Wine glasses breaking, screams and more. One agent hit but vested, nah. Gunman tackle, goodbye, call ha. Trump in the SUV, hero messed up. Looking back like, is this real? The next day at the White House, suit back on tight. I love the Secret Service to the best, alright. Lone wolf, that's what he said. While his legs were kicking like he's scared of the dead. Crowd outside laughing, phones up high. Trump ran faster than his own lies. He ran like hell off that stage. Secret Service hero saving the day. From the podium king to a scared little man. Orange man running as fast as he can. Ran like hell. Legendary fail. Dinner of the year, this one made the trail. Ego shot worse than any bullet could. Trump got served. And it wasn't food. Yeah. White House Correspondents' Dinner. Lights, cameras, then chaos. Trump on stage. Fancy ballroom, Hilton lights glowing. Trump in his suit, orange hair showing. Melania beside him, Vance looking bored. Crowd full of haters clapping real low. Speech going smooth, ego on inflate. Till the shadow moves near the metal gate. Backpack boy with the grin so shady, pulls out the heat, now it's getting crazy. Secret service screaming, shots fired. Tables flip, people die for cover. Bullets flying like confetti in the air. Trump's face turned white, eyes wide with fear. He ran like hell off that stage. Secret service grab him from the page. Legs in the air, flying wild. Big bad Trump looking like a scared child. Ran like hell, what a show. The big tough guy to let's go, bro. No one hurt but his giant ego. Shots at the dinner, now the whole world knows. Lego style panic bodies on the floor. Wine glasses breaking, screams and more. One agent hit but that said nah. Gunman tackle, goodbye, go. Trump in the SUV, hero messed up. Looking back like, is this real? Well, the next day at the White House, back on tight. I love the Secret Service, they're the best, alright. Lone wolf, that's what he said. While his legs were kicking like he's scared of the dead. Crowd outside laughing, phones up high. Trump ran faster than his own lies. He ran like hell off that stage. Secret Service hero saving the day. From the podium king to a scared little man. Orange man running as fast as he can. Ran like hell, legendary fail. Dinner of the year, this one made the trail. Ego shot worse than any bullet could. Trump got served. And it wasn't food. Yeah, ran like hell. April 25, they'll never forget. The night the tough guy broke the internet. Ran like hell. Ran like hell.
Pretty good productions, huh? One of the things I wanted to say about the alleged attempt, is that Donnie's been getting called out by a lot of people about Butler. A lot of people, even MAGA people. And what Donnie does when he gets busted, he doubles down. So I think that that's another reason why he wanted to have this event last night. Not to mention just a distraction from the files, of course, because last night was a real spotlight on the files. A distraction from the war, which is a point of his approval just plummeting. And then he's trying to get people's sympathy. It's almost like when, and I don't like to say when people make a self-injury attempt, how that sometimes a feeble attempt can be a cry for attention. And it's true, but with self-injurious behavior, I think that it's really important to treat even like a manipulative cry for attention. I think it's really important to treat it as if it's real, because that's just such a slippery slope. But for this guy, it's like he's crying out for attention, and he's an attention whore, and he just wants to be in the headlines, and he wants everyone to talk about him, and he wants people's sympathy because everybody's hating on him, everybody's doubting him, doubting his abilities, doubting his honesty, doubting that he was ever nearly assassinated in Butler. So rather than getting busted for that, because wouldn't he be charged with a lot of crimes if he had something to do with choreographing? And I mean, who knows what happened with that? What's the guy's name? Corey Campatori, the 50-year-old firefighter that was, I think, passed away from getting injured at that event. Corey Capatori or something like that. It's a really unusual, kind of strange name. But a 50-year-old retired firefighter. So I would think that if it was proven that he had something to do with it, which if it was fake, he obviously had something to do with it, he could be put in jail for that. He does things every day he can be put in jail for, in my opinion. What drives me crazy about the dirtbag that we call our president is when he talks about these terrible people and he says they're rapists and they're red rummers and they're child abusers. In my opinion, he's talking about himself, but he's always putting that out there. He's always attacking other people for being rapists and red rummers and people that hurt children. It's like, dude, projection and confession every time, right? I think the undermining and the hijacking of an event that is going to not only celebrate the First Amendment, but honor people that have worked really hard in their careers exercising their First Amendment, to undermine and hijack and make it about him is the dirtiest, most rat bastard crap, but it is par for the course. It's what he does every effing day of his life, right? 5 months ago, Dolly stated that she was having health problems. Isn't she like 85 or something? She looks amazing. She's got all that plastic surgery. Dolly Parton. And she's really cool with her book thing that she does. You know, anybody who has a child can get a book sent to their kid every week for the first 5 years of their life. Isn't that what it was? I forget. Even though I did it with all 4 of my kids, I'm pretty sure I at least did it with 2 or 3 of them. Okay, she's only 80 right now. And yeah, I mean, being so skinny and having all that plastic surgery, and you know, she had a ton of breast enlargements when she was young, and then she got so disproportionate that she had a couple of reductions. So I could see her having health problems related to that too. I mean, just going under the knife like that is not good. And we all know now that the silicone and stuff like that has a lot of adverse health effects. So I hope she's okay. I mean, she seems like such a sweet person. Little T always projects. Yep. Confession and projection. So, I did watch a few videos about last night's incident last night, and I watched a few this morning. I want to say I was really disappointed with Adam Mockler because he was there at the correspondence dinner, I think up until like 5 minutes before it happened. And then he took an Uber to the Substack party, and he was just like, it was real, people. It was real. But he wasn't actually there. He had been there up until about 5 minutes before it happened. But I didn't like his perspective. He was getting a lot of criticism from a lot of people too for being like that. Like it was a live stream, and somebody put in his live chat, like, I just lost respect for you. And he was just like, well, fine, I don't care, because you're being dumb and you're being a conspiracy theorist. And it was just like, it is early to be deciding what you think it is. I mean, I decided what I thought it was immediately, just like I did with Charlie Kirk, kind of just like I did with the one in Butler, but I suspended my disbelief with Butler. But then it just became more abundantly clear that it was a bunch of effery. And, a lot of people want to just believe whatever it is that the authorities say. Like, how could you get law enforcement to lie about such things? How could you get these conspiracies going with so many different individuals? But the thing is that you can. So, Chris Norland is another channel that I like to watch, and he is American, but he's living in South Korea. And so he did a video the minute that he found out about it, and he was going along with thinking that it was all authentic, but he was kind of hesitant, and he was just saying, it's too early to really determine. But then he was really focused more on the gun violence in our country, which I think was a good perspective. And, I was a little bit frustrated with Chris Norland, but him being on the other side of the world, I understand his hesitancy to be more critical. I expect that he will be more critical today and tomorrow. I haven't watched any of his videos yet today. I just watched the one that he did like immediately last night. And the one that I watched by Adam Mockler was the only one that truly disappointed me. And, I was kind of surprised how many people were speaking out that it was a pile of dog crap right from jump. But I appreciate it too, because I want to hear different people's perspectives. So I wanted to share with you guys, how I've been really critical of Ellie Leonard lately, the one who has been specializing in the Trumpstein files and has been on a lot of the panels with Zev Shalev, Lev Remembers, Lev Parnas, and Waj Ali. Ellie Leonard is also one of the people that really pushed the Sasha Riley. And I don't know about that whole Sasha Riley thing, but I'm very suspicious of that whole Sasha Riley thing. So I just wanted to bring that up because I had forgotten that she was one of the main perpetrators of that story. I also wanted to go back a few days and talk about that TPUSA event that, I mean, the news cycle is just so insane. That was like all of 5 days ago, but it's like an eternity ago in the news cycle. that TP USA event in Georgia that Erica Kirk canceled at last minute. And Vance went ahead and did the event, even though there was allegedly threats to the security of the event. So that makes no sense. Of course, the vice president isn't going to go up on a stage if there were security threats. So that's what Erica said was the reason that she was backing out. Although the ticket sales were super poor and there was maybe 25% of the arena filled up, it was a pathetic, super small crowd. Some people say tens of people. I'd say there was a couple hundred, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I mean, there were some people there. Um, but the poor ticket sales, the tickets were free. The tickets were free. So they tried to say poor ticket sales when really they could not give them away. Is that so freaking funny? My hair is getting all weird. Your hair just goes really flat when you're doing your video. Like I brushed it right before I started, and now it needs to be brushed again. But I'll show you how much it'll make a difference. I think this is what it's like being a YouTuber. See, look at that. Look at that. It makes it look so much nicer. It's so funny how your hair goes so flat. That which is one of the reasons why you need a hat. Because when you start your video, your hair might look fine. And then 5 minutes later, it looks like crap. Or it's just doing something crazy. So you just put a hat on and hide it. Anyway, enough about my problems. I don't think she had breast enlargement. She did have breast reductions, though. No, I've heard her talk about it, Anna Bees. She had a series of breast enlargements, and we can ask AI. And the reason why she did it, I think it's really cute that she was open about it, because this was before people were really doing it, like in the 70s. And the reason she did it was because she was a very talented musician. And in her words, she didn't think people would want to listen to just another small breasted or small chested woman. And so, I mean, it definitely got her a lot of attention. But she does have a great voice, too. And she's a great writer. So, how many breast enlargements? I want to ask. How many breast enhancements? And yeah, then they were so big, it was so awkward and painful. And I think she had like 2 or 3 reductions, but I think she had more than that in the enhancements. How many breast enhancements has our dear Dolly Parton had? See what AI says. But I'm talking words from her mouth. She's never disclosed the exact total number of breast surgeries, but she has acknowledged having multiple procedures, including augmentations, lifts, and a reduction starting as early as the 60s or 70s. She has also famously stated that she spent $1 million on her breasts and has had them put in and taken out. Well, yeah, you've got to take them out, I think, every few years, or the silicone can leak and really make you sick. It can be fatal, I think. Reports indicate she had breast augmentation in 67, the mid 70s, and the mid 80s. So that would be at least 3 right there. She reportedly had smaller 600cc implants installed in the early 90s to replace larger ones. And then reconstructive surgery, she has mentioned undergoing a lift and reduction due to back pain in the early 2000s. And then she confirmed that she's never used silicone injections. She's been open about her use of cosmetic procedures, including liposuction, facelifts, and eyelid work, famously stating that it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. That's adorable. It takes a lot of money to look this cheap. That is so funny. I mean, she's just great. I love her. Um, and then once she stated, if I see something sagging, dragging, or bagging, I'm going to have it stuck, tucked, or plucked. Her confirmed and rumored breast procedures include initial augmentation around 1967 when she was only 22 years old, underwent another one in the mid 70s, and then reportedly received special made 1,000 cc implants in the mid 80s. Revision and reduction by the early 90s, she reportedly replaced the jumbo implants with smaller 600 cc versions. She also confirmed having a breast lift to maintain their appearance after weight loss. Parton, yeah. Parton has jokingly noted that she has spent around $1 million on her breasts alone over the years. And she explicitly denies ever receiving silicone injections, citing a fear of the procedure, and has clarified that while she uses implants and lifts, she prefers a subtle approach to ongoing maintenance. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, what's going on? What did I miss? Thank you, Anna Bees, for what happened. Little T always projects. I don't think she had breast enlargements. Adam was probably really scared. Anna Bees, I think that he is scared of being targeted. And when you're a channel that huge, he has a couple million subscribers at least. I understand that, if he were, but then you've got people like Keith Edwards and even Midas Touch that are like just being very explicit in stating their opinions that are extremely similar to mine. And their channels are super big too. So, they all get death threats all the time. But maybe he feels more vulnerable. I mean, he's young. I think Adam Mockler, is 22. And Keith Edwards is quite a bit older. I think he's in his 30s, maybe early 30s. He just had a birthday. But he's also worked in the media. He's been like a producer of like reality shows or something like that. So he's worked in the media for a lot longer. Adam Mockler, he's worked in the media for a long time for his age. But yeah, I don't know. But I had thought of that he is scared, like not just about last night, but he's just scared in general. I am suspicious of Sasha Riley's story too. Yeah, I think if it was true that more would have been out about it by now. I think it was probably one of those things like, one of the false flags from maybe MAGA, just seeing if the lunatic radical left people will fall for it, I mean, it was so explicit and over the top and sort of confirming like all of our worst fears. But I don't think we're going to get all of that confirmation from one person, from one story, because everybody's got their own experience. I mean, like Virginia Gouffre's experience is extremely different from like the person with the soft white underbelly who she's met Jeffrey Epstein. Like, so she knew that Jean-Luc Brunel and Little E were connected, that they were partners in crime. But she wasn't abused or assaulted by Little E. She was assaulted one time by Jean-Luc Brunel. And then Virginia Gouffre was probably assaulted by him too, but she was assaulted by Little E probably hundreds, if not thousands of times. I mean, she was kind of their favorite. I was talking about that earlier in this video, that she just meshed really well with uh, Jiz and Little E. She was so subservient and so used to abuse, and like she needed the approval, like she wanted to please them, like, you know, she saw them as parental figures, and she didn't want to disappoint them, she didn't want to frustrate them. She was very obedient, so they liked her a lot. They liked her because she was young, because she was cooperative, because she was cute, because she was sexy, because she was able to carry out a lot of their requests, like almost all of their requests she granted, you know. There were, like, the one that she didn't was that they wanted her to have their baby. She wanted, I think they wanted her to be a surrogate for like Jiz's egg, but she wanted nothing to do with that. So, you know, that was the end of the road for her, and I'm sure the end of the road for them too. When they presented the idea to her, like they were swimming, they were on a dock on Little Ease Island, and they obviously had it all planned out where they were presenting it to her and trying to like butter her up. And when they asked her if she would do it, she had a very long hesitation before she answered. And then when she answered, she was basically, I think her response was like, let me think about it. But then I think she quickly said, you know, you keep saying that you're going to pay for me to go to massage therapy school. So how about we do that first? And then after I get professionally trained as a massage therapist, then I'll have the baby for you. I think that was all in the one conversation. Um, and then, but that might have been like over a few days, but right away um, they made arrangements for her to get the training in Thailand, which she figured that the training would be like in Florida or something like that. So she was kind of taken aback and kind of devastated because she didn't really want to go that far away where she didn't know anybody. And, you know, she went for it, again, because she's obedient, and they made all the arrangements. They paid for the school, they paid for her travel, they got her a nice hotel room, and, you know, and then they were really treating her even better financially than they ever had before because of the offer that they made. I think they were offering that if she had the baby, that they would pay her like $250,000 a year, that they'd buy her a house. I mean, it was a huge offer, very, very substantial. And, um, you know, she called them from Thailand maybe a month into the training to tell them that she was getting married and that she wasn't coming back. And that phone call was to Jeffrey. And it didn't go well. She was afraid of doing it, and it went worse than what she thought it would. He freaked out basically. And um yeah, it got real ugly real fast. I hid all of Sarah's comments. Oh, was that by accident? I was like, did Sarah go rogue on us? I'm glad to know that. I'm sorry, Sarah. Sarah, I accidentally hid your comments. I'm sorry. All good, Sarah says. Okay. They're back now. My stupid phone. Oh, that's so funny. I know I have another mod who had a lot of issues like that, and she was like, I can't mod because I got fat thumbs and I'm screwing things up for you. So that's too funny. I'm sorry. 3.75K for your channel. Oh, Yeah, that many subs, correct. Which, it's a lot for me, for little old me, but it's super tiny compared to these gargantuan channels. There's like a website that you can go to and you can look up anybody's YouTube channel or any other platform also, and you can see approximately how much money they're making. And yeah, some of these bigger channels, like the ones that I mentioned, they're making maybe somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 a month from YouTube. I'm, on the other hand, making like $30 a month from YouTube. I mean, it's like nothing practically. Yeah, you have to have a lot of subs to make anything, and then you have to have a ton of views too. Sorry for the dog scratching. Since I've already been on for an hour and 40 minutes, I'm thinking I'll probably wind down rather than get up and let the dog in. Let's see. I had all Sarah's comments. Congratulations. Oh, Sarah, you're so nice. Thank you. Yeah, see, I got all of my subs in the first like 3 months of having my channel, maybe 4 months. I got 1,000 subs really quick, like within, I think, 3 weeks. And I couldn't believe it. I just hit the ground running. And then the brakes hit hard when I got to about 4,000. And then it's pretty much been like a standstill, and it kind of ebbs and flows. So it's been that way for like 3 years, which is fine because I do want to make money, but I don't want the pressure of being a big channel. I like my tiny channel. A person, and having a channel puts you in the game. So my doggy, oh, silly dog, maybe I'll let her in. But see, I've got this like laptop desk thing, which is why I'm like hesitant. It's the first time I've used it, but I'll just set it down. It just makes me feel like I'm pinned down, and then I don't want to get up and let the puppy dog in. Let's see. What is going on, you silly girls? Oh, calm down. Calm down. Hey. See, I'm just afraid they'll like knock my tea over and stuff. And I rearranged. Do you like my little thing, my little shadow box over here? Let me set my tea down here so puppy dog doesn't knock it over. And we'll have some puppy love. Oh, Coco wants in too. Come here, silly baby. Come here. Silly girl. Chi. Oh, what am I missing? A person might wish to look at who all is funding C shots. I don't know what C shots is. What is C shots? I don't know what that means. I'm not obedient. Here. See, because I have the little mouse thing, I thought having the flat surface, because normally I'm just like using the mouse on my notebook. But a person might wish to look at who all is funding C shots. I'm not obedient. I don't think we should be forced experiments on people. Do you mean like the COVID shots? This is so sad. I would be freaked to talk to Epstein. Yeah. I was dropping my phone and trying to catch it, and somehow while I pushed buttons, I didn't mean to. I have 7 subs. LOL. I only post. I think I'm subbed up to you, Sarah. I think I did. I only post to Annabelle says, my cat loves the channel of yours too. Oh, really? Even though I show dogs? That's so cute. You have a nice setup. Oh, thank you, dear. Hey, Christine Herman. What's going on? Love your title, but in my opinion, how true? C-shots COVID, yeah. Um, so yeah, I do have fun with my set, and this shadow box is really cool, but it is too bright. And so check this out. This is going to be really bright. That's the shadow box. And then I finally just today picked up cellophane that I can stick to it to make it not so bright. And then I can put layers on to make it kind of cooler and cooler. And the cellophane is really cool because it just like sticks by static cling. Let's see. It's not really working as well as there because it's static clinging not the right way. Okay. And then if I put, see how pretty that is? If I put the one more on, I like the blues and the greens in my set. Mostly I really like the blues in the set, but I like reds too. I miss having reds. I should put a little bit more red in. You know, it's good to have a variety of light sources because then you get more like ambient light, and then it just helps a lot. Like you've probably noticed when you watch people's videos, if they have too much white light, they look like they're radioactive, basically. um, yes. Hi, Christine, who was watching the latest news. What some BS? Yeah. What am I missing since I've been on? I mean, I literally was watching mostly Lego news today because I was going to play that Lego video for you, but where they are basically saying how that's the new news in America is that Americans are watching the Iranians Lego videos instead of watching the news. And it's oh, 60 Minutes Australia just dropped a video 16 hours ago about the Zora Ranch, the FBI cover up exposed. The 60 Minutes Australia is really good. I'll have to check that out. But I was going to see about the one more of the Lego videos. Now they said that they were going to make the Lego videos illegal, that they were calling them propaganda, and that they were going to take them down, which is why I started playing them more on my channel to document them. But since they haven't taken them down, I'm thinking that maybe they're not going to. And maybe they realize how that just does the Streisand effect. Like, you know, most of the videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views, but they'd probably be getting millions of views if they take them down because you can't. I mean, you can try, but it's not gonna work. Um, so let me see. Did I play this one? This one is probably the one I'm looking for. Um, it's from AI Iran. I don't think I played that for you guys yet today. Um, and it's just a 2-minute video. So let's play it and see if it's the one I'm looking for. 2.5 minutes. It's being all slow. What's up, phone?
United States of Israel. That's your resume. Killing children every day. While you look away, United States of Israel. Netanyahu's pet Trump is a pedophile. Don't you forget. 4 years of tweets at 3 a.m. Unhinged and unwell. Bro, go to sleep. The Oval Office turned into a circus tent from hell. Your reliability wrapped in the spray tan and the tie. The title taped in the back. Even your suit is a lie. You said ILO can fix it. Fixed what? The grift. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Gave your whole family government jobs as a gift. Mar-a-Lago mansion. Classified docs on the floor. What was that? Box of secrets by the bathroom door. I'm really rich, said the man who begs for donations. LMAO. Selling Bibles and sneakers to a broke nation. Gold plated toilet can't flush the truth. It's giving con man. Every indictment just more proof. You don't run a country, you run a brand. Broke one. 6 bankruptcy built on stolen land. The people who voted for you still can't afford their rent. Mega magic, baby. That's where all your promises went. United States of Israel. That's your resume. Killing children every day. Why you look away? United States of Israel. Netanyahu's dead. Trump is a pedophile. Don't you forget. You marketed fear and sold it to the working class. Facts. Promised them the world, gave them nothing but gas. Your voters lost their jobs, their health, their home. It's a stock market though. Yeah, for people with portfolios and second homes and loans. BB pulls the strings and you perform the dance. Good boy. Guys are burning while you clap and chant. You call it peace deals. We call it what it is. Genocide shit. Blood on the hands of your whole administration's biz. From here on, we're watching every move you make. See, every child killed is a lie. You'll never shake. You threaten us with Twitter like we tremble and fold. Nah. Son, Iran, don't get threatened. Iran just gets cold. United States of Israel. Netanyahu's dead. Trump is a pedophile. Don't you forget.
Well, they kind of get straight to the point, huh? No beating around the bush on that one. Let's see. That's pretty. Yeah, this thing, I love it. I totally love it. I actually found it at Goodwill. And I was thinking that I'd give it to one of my kids for like a birthday present, but then I was like, nah, I have to keep it. I don't know that they'd appreciate it as much as I appreciate it. They'd like it, but I love it. I just love it. It's quite the exciting find. Let's see. Are your hips feeling better, Annabise? Asked Christine. Good. That's awesome. That's very exciting. Oh, what's up with John Lithgow? Put out a new parody of Trump as well. Really? I love John Lithgow. He's hilarious. Should we look? Let's see how long it is. I'll check it out. But yeah, we've been on for almost 2 hours, so we should wrap up too. Is his channel called John Lithgow? Oh, I did want to play a Paula Poundstone for you before I. So is it a YouTube or something else? YouTube. Okay. That's from 5 years ago. That's just a 1 minute Trumpty Dumpty Wanted a Crown starring John Lithgow. Let's see. A Confederacy of Dumpties. Is that the name of his channel? Well, I'm really glad to find his channel. Or maybe it's just a channel that he did some work on, that he was like a contributor. Let's see. Yeah, it is his channel. Award-winning actor, author, and illustrator John Lithgow. He grew up in Ohio too. Okay, but his latest video on here is 4 years old. So he must be doing a different platform. Let's see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, so Paula Poundstone. She's freaking brilliant. Let's see. Okay, so this is probably just like a minute long, and it's called, Well, That Was Convenient.
Paula Poundstone. I was just playing with the cats. There's an Andy Griffith Show episode where Andy sets up a fake crime so that Barney can feel that he's necessary to protect the people of Mayberry. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Hey man, are you okay? There was a shooter right there at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And that was your first one as president, wasn't it? No, I mean your first White House Correspondents' Dinner. You wouldn't attend as president in the past because they've always had stand-up comics as entertainment and you were afraid they'd make fun of you. And the good ones would have. You only came to this one because they were going to have a mentalist, a guy who could read minds instead of doing political comedy. If he read your mind, I think that could have been worse for you, don't you? I guess you dodged 2 bullets there. How much are they paying that guy? Hell, I could read your mind. Don't release the files. I don't want to go to jail. Don't release the files. I don't want to go to jail. Uncanny, huh? I think it's because we're close. Oh, and it was Melania's first time ever to a White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it was her chance to bask in the glory of her highly regarded I am not Epstein's victim statement to the press. By the way, I never thought she was a victim. There had been calls prior to the event for members of the press to leave while you were speaking. Had you heard that? You said in your statement to the press back at the White House after the event was canceled that the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner is why we need a ballroom. You repeated your unsubstantiated claim that presidents had wanted a ballroom at the White House for 150 years. Which ones journaled that? The truth is, they've had the White House Correspondents' Dinner in hotel ballrooms for decades, and there hasn't been a lick of violence. Did you have bulletproof glass when you pretended to work at McDonald's? Or when you pretended to be a sanitation worker? Were you wearing a bulletproof vest when you talked to the DoorDash grandma? You go to large rallies in indoor and outdoor venues. You wanted the magnetometers taken down at the Ellipse on January 6th. You stored our top secret documents in your bathroom at your social club. You said we need levels of security like no one has ever seen before, but you won't do anything to reduce gun violence. There have been more school shootings than assassination attempts on presidents' lives. Kids can have the bejesus scared out of them learning to hide in a closet and be quietly in a bucket. But what the country desperately needs is a ballroom at the White House with bulletproof glass? Didn't the court just tell you you have to stop building that ballroom until you get congressional approval? And then a thing like this happens. Hey, Donald Trump. It's just me, Paula Poundstone.
She's so clever, isn't she? Paula Poundstone is a hoot. I know. She is a really smart lady. I love her. Let's see. Should we play one more Paula Poundstone and then we'll wrap it up? How about that?
Hey, Donald Trump. It's just me, Paula Poundstone. I'm in a hotel room because I was doing my stand-up comedy show in a theater here in Iowa City tonight. I got my dog Mo as a puppy several years ago, and she learned all of the basic commands pretty quickly, except for stay. I don't think it's willful. I think her thoughts just wander. I'll tell her stay, and when, after a few seconds, she starts to walk away, I say, Mo, stay. And she'll be like, oh, that's right. You did say that. And then she'll stay again. And that's what I want to talk to you about. What was even the purpose of yesterday's Oval Office press conference? I didn't see the whole thing because I've been having some stomach problems. You were talking about the repairs you were planning for the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Monument. And within seconds, you were saying that your 4th of July crowd was bigger than Martin Luther King's crowd. You said you had the exact same crowd as MLK's crowd, but that they said you had 25,000 and that MLK had 1 million. I'd wager you never won the prize for guessing how many jelly beans were in a jar. There could have been 2 jelly beans in a jar and you would have lost. Then you talked about how you don't like bad contractors. Time well spent on that fascinating, eye-opening reveal. If these reflecting pool repairs are anything like the repairs you planned for the east wing of the White House, Lincoln may come out of his chair and beat you to an orange paste. You said it was the reflecting lake or pond or pool. Just so you know, and the next time you can complete your remarks more quickly and get onto your nap, it's called the reflecting pool. And no one has ever called it the reflecting pond or lake. Did Biden leave you a note in the White House saying it was called the reflecting lake? You know, he treated you so kindly, and he's such a good guy. But maybe he did get in one fuck you. You said you were going to have one of your pool guys do the repairs, and that you asked him to make the bottom of the pool light blue, like the pools in the Bahamas. So what was your plan? Chase lounges? Shuffleboard? Towel boys? It's not that kind of pool, Donald. I wouldn't be surprised if you turned it into lime baths to dispose of your political adversaries. In the midst of your presentation about the reflecting pool, you said there was no crime in Washington, D.C. Donald, it's best if you don't mention crime in Washington, D.C., because you are easily the biggest criminal that city has ever hosted, let alone the biggest criminal ever to inhabit the White House. So long as you are in the White House, there is record-breaking crime in Washington, D.C. There's so much crime, it's hard to pick a few examples. How about covering up the Epstein files? How about selling pardons? How about dismantling the law enforcement group that covers crypto? How about crypto? How about the billions of dollars you and your family have made off the presidency when you were supposed to make zero? Honest to God, I'd rather be mugged in front of the Supreme Court. How about the Supreme Court?
All right.
Hey, Donald Trump.
Brilliant lady, Paula Poundstone. I love being on live with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And it is getting a little late. It's like 11:30. So shall I make another commitment to try to do a video every night this week? Let's make a commitment to do 4 nights this week, 4 out of 5. How about that? Is that a deal? Is that all right? Just because we'll see how it goes. And yeah, next week, well, you know, when the trial starts, if it starts next week like it's supposed to, I'll try to do a video for sure every single day. I'll even try to like go live probably like in my car right after, like, or, you know, during breaks and stuff like that. I'll make like a little traveling studio. I'd do that for you guys for sure. It'd be kind of fun. How about inside trading? Right. Or just like the posting that he does with you know, making the stock market all crazy and then letting his friends and family make all the money.
Without the crazy markup, I never
stop. I was just looking to see oh, it looks like Midas Touch did an interesting video about the shooting. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Sheila Zolnor did a really good video about, I will put a link to that in the description. So, oh, Here's a new Melania one from CNN Iran. Let's just listen in for a second.
Turn it up because tonight's headlines are filling up.
Oh, you know what? I think we might need to listen to this, you guys, because it's like about Melania and the Kit Kat Club. So let's do one more on the way out. It looks like it's a 4-minute video, and then I'll sign off as soon as it's done, I promise. Okay, let's see. Take it back to the beginning. It's 4 minutes and 22 seconds. I'll try to play the whole thing.
Good. Good afternoon, depending on the time the news gets to you. Welcome to the broadcast. We got a story that's moving fast. Grab your remote and turn it up because tonight's headlines are filling up. We're going live. We're going in to a story that just won't end. Buckle up. Here's what we know. Let's break it down. Nice and slow. Back in 1998, a modeling agent opened the gate. A party in Manhattan, Kit Kat Club, the name. Two people met, and nothing was the same. Paulo Zampala, agent on the scene, connecting dots and places in between. He says he made the introduction clear, a moment that would echo year to year. Now fast forward to 2026, the story's back and it's in the mix. A documentary aired across the sea, Italian cameras asking what did we miss. Ray rolled the footage, let the audio play, and suddenly the headlines had a lot to say. The former first lady stepped up to the mic and told the world which claim she didn't like. Breaking news, the pastor's knocking at the door. Breaking news, there's always just a little more. The camera's rolling, the witnesses talking. Social media posts keep walking into headlines, into feeds. Breaking news is all you need. April 9th, she took the stand, addressed the nation, microphone in hand. Said the photos circulating weren't real, said the emails weren't part of the deal. Denied the ties, denied the link, said the stories were worse than you think. Called the claims a collection of lies, looked directly into the camera's eyes. Meanwhile, in a custody dispute, a woman named Amanda took a different route. Former friend, former social circle member, posting words the internet would remember. 20 years of watching, she declared, of seeing things that left her unprepared. She took the social media to speak her mind and left a string of allegations behind. Now here's where the anchors stop and say, the separate was proven from what's hearsay. The people in this story, they are real. The relationships documented, the history revealed, but allegations here in custody court are different from the facts of a confirming report. So we present the story as it stands, with question marks still written in our hands. Sam Foley offered testimony under oath. The Italian doc got coverage on both coasts. New York Times and Reuters picked it up. Mother Jones and Daily Beast filled the cup. El País reported from across the pond, and NPR noted just how deep the bond between the players in this long-running tale that keeps resurfacing without fail. A YouTube channel ran the story loud, with partisan framing drawn in the crowd. Mad as touch, put the clips up on the screen, narrated every detail in between. Now that's the nature of the media age. Every story gets a different stage. One side sees a scandal, one side sees a spin. Depends on which channel you're tuning in. And somewhere in a Lego animation frame, a brick-built version of the whole thing came to life in color, block by block, displayed the way the internet takes news and plays with Jory Kelly's format, art, and style, making complicated stories worth your while. So that's the story as the evening ends, of modeling agents, former friends, of press conferences and Italian air, of documents and questions left out there. The witnesses are speaking, the cameras stay, the headlines keep on coming every day. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest update. Until then, this is your news. Good night. Stay great. All claims references are based on publicly reported media coverage. This parody does not assert the truth of any unverified allegations.
Too funny. All right. So I said, I promise I will wrap it up when we were done with that. And as I'm wrapping up, I just want to say thanks again for watching. And did you guys hear about the posts that the president made, essentially like threatening Iran to not come to the World Cup, even though they earned a spot to compete? And then he was like kind of trying to invite Italy to take their place when Italy didn't qualify for the World Cup. And they were like, that's just embarrassing and rude. Like, no, thank you. Crazy. All right. Peace out, people. Drink your water, eat your protein, and oh, here's my little cursor. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again, and sending you love.